This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
Hello everybody, and indeed welcome once again to Didn't Get All of It Japan on Excursion, where we take you beyond the comfy confines of modern-day Japanese wrestling to see what the wider world has to offer. And you may be saying to yourself, wait Kaz, aren't the On Excursion shows usually Patreon exclusive that you can only get by going to Fatal4Pod.com and clicking the Patreon link to join at the $5 Fatal 4 Plus level? And normally, dear listener, you'd be correct. But we felt like this excursion, we wanted to bring everyone along. So this week, everyone gets to take a trip with us as we inch closer to a full year of Didn't Get All of It Japan. And in that year, we've watched some of the most wonderful wrestling on the planet with you. And we've watched some of the most ridiculous things you can imagine. From a man committing numerous felonies while scaling the Abema Tower in DDT. We've shown you what hubris can bring you with TNA's foray into India with ring kicking. But today we look at a few moments in professional wrestling that are truly crap. But not just any crap, WrestleCrap. And to take that journey with me today, he is the mean gene to my gobbledygooker. It's B-Rob.
I just got entranced by your delivery of the opening promo and everything. I was just like, yo, we do this?
Yeah, I'm good at my job, B-Rob.
Yeah.
And with him, as always, it is the fake diesel to my fake razor Ramon. It's Will Housel.
This is a review. I'm actually taking over the show with our guest host, and we're actually talking about the ending of Muppet Vision 3D. Sorry, everyone. This is now Muppets Podcast.
I can think of worse shows. And he is the roadie to my Double J. Nick Marsico's here with us as well.
You know, one of these days I'm going to come up with something, and I'm going to write something down and have it ready to go for when you introduce me. Not today.
No, you won't.
Oh, you're right. I'll think about it, though. I'll think about it next time we're about to do it.
Yes. And joining us today is a very special guest. He's one of the writers of the legendary book, The Death of WCW. He's the godfather of WrestleCrap.com, and he is the real deal. RD Reynolds is here with us. Say hi to the good people, RD.
Hello, good people. You know what? I know we have the little itinerary and everything, but someone mentioned Muppet Vision 3D
Yes.
and the death of that, and I would be down for discussing that. I was just there 2 weeks ago, paying my last respects to that great attraction.
It's so good.
I know.
We might have to
Rat
set something up
smack.
here.
We'll say this. My wife is sitting here nearby, and if she knows we're talking about this, she's going to get upset because back when we went years ago with my back in 2018 with my son and my daughter, and my daughter was too scared to go in, and so my wife had to stay outside.
no.
So my wife missed it, and she's over here looking. You heard her. She'll never get over it.
We're off the rails already.
Yeah,
my
that's-
apologies. Whenever I'm on shows, that's generally what happens. Or
No, we
in
go
life,
off the rails
that's what
anyway. This
happens.
is
It's
not
worth it for the
abnormal,
Muppets.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to rail the Muppets.
Jesus, that didn't take long. Anyway, we are here to talk about a few hand-picked crappy moments that relate to our coverage of Japanese wrestling, and then we'll also be looking at the beginning of the career of recent inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame, one John Tenta, and how he started his wrestling journey in Japan. But first, RD, the idea for this show came about because I made a reference to WrestleCrap on an episode a few months ago, and our pal B-Rob here did not know what I was referring to, and apparently had no prior knowledge of what WrestleCrap was.
No.
Now, he does have a valid excuse, because he was overseas serving the country for the majority of the 2000s. So he missed out on a number of things. But I thought for those uninitiated, would you mind giving us a brief idea of what WrestleCrap is?
Sure. WrestleCrap.com is a WrestleCrap is a term I came up with about over a quarter century ago.
Full school.
On April 1st of 2000, I launched a website called WrestleCrap.com. Every week we would go in and post what we called an induction. But instead of an induction for something good, it was an induction for something terrible. Be that a horrible character, a ridiculous storyline, or a terrible match. That's what WrestleCrap was all about. And we always wanted it to be something humorous. So I think we always try to bring something humorous. I make no promises that it is always humorous, but that's
Just
what
like
we
the show.
attempt to do. We all do our best, right? And so that's what WrestleCrap's all about. Over the years, like I said, over a quarter of a century, we've had 3 books we have done. We did WrestleCrap, the very worst of pro wrestling. Death of WCW, which is the one that most people know. And then I also did the WrestleCrap Book of Lists, ! With my old podcast partner, Blade Braxton, RIP. And so, yeah, that's what it's all about. We're always looking to try and, just bring some levity and some humor into the world of pro wrestling, because a lot of times, not so much now, but especially, early in, WrestleCrap.com, I would say anytime before like the last 5 years, it was a business that took itself a little too seriously. And it's taken a long time for people to be able to step back and go, some of this stuff is silly and we should be able to laugh at it.
Yeah. So you say the year 2000. I left for, I think I was on the way out to boot camp during that time. So I just graduated high school that year.
Wait, TNA's boot camp, or which boot camp we talking about?
The world, the United States is boot camp.
The world elite.
Well, I would just say thank you for serving. That's incredible, incredible that you would do that, and it's greatly appreciated.
You know what's terrible is I think RD's the first person to say that to people on the show.
Yeah, no shit.
Well,
Yeah.
What kind of low life scums you got on this show?
I
You don't want to know.
I don't. Oh my God. Just
People that take themselves too seriously.
Didn't John Cena make a movie about you?
Yeah. You know what? What was funny about that? I was there on Paris Island when he came through and did some of the stuff for the promotion of that movie, and I missed him by like that much.
He was like,
I
love
didn't
my
see him.
rapist boss.
I couldn't see him.
Why?
What?
Why?
He's like, I love my rapist boss.
Okay, I don't think he got into it that far.
We were having fun.
Yeah, and then the whole when you was explaining what your site was and whatnot, it kind of reminds me of what the Razzies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
for wrestling.
An apt comparison. I mean, same thing. And you will get, early on with the Razzies, it was really something that was, people were not happy about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it took like Halle Berry.
Yeah, showing up.
Yeah, she showed up and she was like so happy that she got the Razzie. And we had kind of the same thing with someone that we'll talk about later in the show. A good friend of mine, John Tenta. He was kind of the Halle Berry. God bless you, John. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the first time anyone's ever compared to Halle Berry. But
both very sick.
Yeah,
you heard it right here on this here show.
That's great. So let's get to a little bit of this WrestleCrap. I think the first thing we want to take a look at is Kung Fu Naki.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any memories of this particular gimmick?
Extremely racist.
No.
Well, I hate to tell you that might be a bit of a theme on this episode.
You don't say.
Mm-hmm.
I distinctly remember because I grew up in the Attitude Era, so this was like, I was a big Kind Tai guy, a big sucker for Taka and Funaki.
Yeah.
And then SmackDown #1 announcer. And then all of a sudden, he's like, Karate Man. And I'm like, huh. Okay, yeah, sure, I can rock with this. And then he's starting to team with Jimmy Wang Yang. And then we just lost the plot.
Yeah. Because I'm a big fan of old school martial arts films or whatever, and those were notoriously dubbed in English for the overseas audience, which is us. So when they did the Indeed bits and all that stuff, I was like, this is funny. But then again, I was like, this is bad.
Those aged okay. I feel like of the problem, obviously problematic, but I think those aged okay compared to some other stuff at that time.
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty low bar.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, well, it was, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes, I would agree. It was not as horrible as, the necrophilia angle with Katie Vick. But I'm just,
How dare you?
If this was a video podcast, I'd bust out the original Katie Vick outfit, which I do own. So.
Yeah, I was going to tell B-Rob, he owns that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, I need photo evidence. That'll be the show.
There is photo evidence. It exists on the internet.
He's wearing it.
In years past, we would do StarCast. We would bring Katie Vick in a casket with her original outfit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, would people get?
What are we doing here?
Would people get
We've
to
already
pay?
sold B-Rob on all of this.
Yes.
Would people get to pay to sleep with it like they did Sonny?
They would pay to get a picture with it. Yes. Do you guys know who Joel Gertner is?
Yes.
Yes. Of course.
Okay. Joel Gertner, great guy. Absolutely love him. He was at the first StarCast. He literally got in the casket.
Oh no!
On top of Katie Vick. So
That's so on brand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Joel was being the quintessential stud muffin. Definitely that show. So.
Yeah, and if you want to search through the archives of the Random Rounds with Rob, I have a former podcast host of a show that we used to do, I think, RBR, something like that. He claimed to have slept with Sonny. So I have an interview with him on my podcast where we talked about that whole ordeal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Who'd you have
for him?
You had Joel Gertner?
No, Mitch Valentine. He was a Cinco de Hosto for a former show.
Oh, I was talking about Joel Gertner.
I was going to say, I never heard Joel did.
Like, you're dropping some big scoops here.
Yes.
I'm calling Joel right now to get confirmation of that.
When were you on a podcast?
Nah, I don't know too many Joels except for Osteen.
You guys were talking about Funaki and Kai and Tai and all that, and the Indeed. You've heard the urban legend. Who did Indeed?
It was Shane.
Shane, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't
just
like any of that.
Just making sure you
knew. It tracks with that family, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one of the things, and I'm hoping this will work, because we had an issue with it last time. I'm going to see if this audio.
Oh, no. You're going to play the song?
I am.
Oh, no.
So I think we're just going to talk through some of the lyrics of the Kung Fu Naki theme song. Because it is Kung Fu Naki, and it is words that rhyme with Kung Fu Naki, including Milwaukee, Nagasaki, Karate, Crappie, Pavarotti, Abu Dhabi, Biscotti,
what's this history?
And Kaki. All right with Kung Fu
sloppy.
Naki.
There's more words.
And sloppy.
Jockey, Rocky,
teriyaki.
Yes. Yeah, and they all rhyme with Kung Fu Naki.
These are just Migos ad libs.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, it's just a Kung Fu. It's for the if you want to go and listen to it, and we'll drop some links in this. It's a parody of Kung Fu fighting, but it's Kung Fu Naki.
What? Wait, and did Kung Fu Panda come out that year?
2008.
I think it was way before. Wait,
it might. No, Kung Fu Panda came out in 2008.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, no, you're right.
That is correct. 2008.
Oh no!
I think I figured it out.
Mm-hmm. They're just trying to appeal to that younger crowd.
Yes.
They get Jack Black at any point to come on with him.
You think they had Jack Black money in 2008?
No.
Oh, fair enough. Wait, well, all right.
I mean, the only time you got any like acclaimed celebrity on those shows back then was like if they were a fan or they
like
did
local athlete.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was before the guest host era.
Yes,
unfortunately. Yes.
Before the guest host, that was after the Win Vince's Money though.
Oh, that was an all-time classic.
That was back in 2007.
Vince trying to figure out how to use a phone.
Yeah.
Paul, I can't feel my legs.
Paul. RD, who's your favorite guest host?
Bob Barker.
Good.
Yes,
Bob Barker or the Muppets. There's only two choices you get.
Yeah.
I would say Bob Barker just because they did the thing like they whenever they're in the getting ready to get on stage with Bob Barker and they have the big name tags, and so they had Chris Jericho literally had a name tag taped to his bare chest, which I thought was
this is when
incredible.
Jericho was tolerable for me.
Yes.
Short hair Jericho, this was.
Yeah, this is Jericho.
Yeah, this would lead into the list later.
Mm-hmm.
I got a while from there, but yeah.
Yeah, but like also, Bob Barker top of my list. I think also for me was Wayne Brady because I think he of any celebrity appearance on WWE television, I believe he sold the RKO the best.
Mm-hmm.
He just laid there dead while the segment continued. Shit, just motionless, just dead.
I went to a Raw during that era. It was probably one of the worst Raws I've ever been to. It was the McGruber one.
Oh, I hate that shit so much.
All the talent was stuck overseas, and Jack Swagger Undertaker almost went 20 minutes in one of the worst fucking matches I've ever seen in my life. And they blew up R-Truth, and I went deaf. Good times.
I was a
Kung Fu
Jeremy Piven
Naki.
guy. Yeah, that's all that joke warranted. That's fine. Kung Fu Naki. Yeah, so this is Sho Funaki, who was a very good wrestler in Japan. I think he was in at least one J-Cup, wasn't he? Well,
that sounds right.
Then went to WWE and has had it's been there almost 30 years now, hasn't he?
He's still there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was just Julia's interpreter for just a little bit.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
That might need its own induction eventually.
I would rather.
Let me write that down.
I would rather talk Kung Fu Naki than that.
Right. But yeah, so this guy who is a tremendous wrestler was, well, as you said earlier, given a karate gimmick with karate moves, even though karate and kung fu aren't exactly the same.
Right. I remember when I was a kid, I tried making him in the SmackDown games, but I didn't know how to make shit, so I just gave him like Ricky Steamboat's moveset.
Yeah.
Seems on brand.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Wait, Funaki teamed with Akuto Hidaka after he left WWE the first time.
Isn't that the song from The Lion King?
All I can think of is Joey Styles going, Akuto Hidaka.
Means no worries.
Shit, I gotta look this up. Anyway.
Anyways.
I'll be over here, guys.
Will's going to be proud of himself for the rest of the episode for that.
I will.
But yeah, it wasn't exactly an illustrious run. As you said, he teamed with Jimmy Wang Yang, and it went very poorly, very quickly. Though I will say, I do, in theory, like that tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, on paper, two very good cruiserweights teaming up is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Funaki, I'm trying to think, did he ever win a belt?
Yeah, he was cruiserweight champion.
Was he a cruiserweight champion?
Yeah, during the number one announcer era.
Okay. I couldn't remember. But yeah, so this was let me see, I think this was his final gimmick before he went backstage full time, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if it'll lock him up a job for life, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as
paid
far
his
as
dues.
Japanese talent goes, he's probably been one of the more successful overall.
Is he more successful than Shinsuke Nakamura? Yes or no?
Ooh. Damn.
We're talking job for life. I mean, maybe after what happened the last couple days. After what happened the last couple days.
Yeah, honestly, I think I would say yes. I think I might take Funaki's career over Nakamura's. Yeah. Oh dear Lord, that's not what I was expecting.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that. Excuse me. That he did not make quite that. Funaki did not make quite as much money.
Yeah,
as Nakamura.
Probably not.
I mean, maybe over 30 years, he made as much as Nakamura's made in whatever 8 or whatever he's been, however long he's been around in WWE. So,
but
oh my God, it's been
really
that
good
long.
at saving.
Yeah, but Funaki also doesn't have the bump card Nakamura does either.
Mm-hmm.
He has working knees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a plus.
Yes. All right. I think we can move on to our next induction, which will be Hakushi and Barry Horowitz, where Hakushi gets Americanized.
Or as Rob Van Dam would say, Hakushi.
Bless you.
Yeah, that was an old joke they would always do is Hakushi Gesundheit. So,
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Really? That was back when he was in ECW back in 98, I think, right?
I was going to say, you can tell which one of us watched ECW 98.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Yeah. So Hakushi, for those who don't know, is Shinsei Shinzaki, who is a legendary Japanese performer.
Wait, I thought it was Shota Umino.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I like to say, by the way, I made that joke before Shingo made that joke.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Shingo did that?
I can
Yeah,
verify
Shingo
it.
made fun of him for looking like he was even doing his moves, the praying on the rope walk and everything.
Right.
That's right.
I did it first.
Yes.
Go back into the archives of
also Shingo has
all over Japan.
Also, Shingo has a terrible handshake, but that's neither here nor there.
But yes, Shinsei Shinzaki had a spell in WWF during the early to mid 90s. This is a period of WWF that I'm not as familiar with.
count your blessings instead of crappy matches.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
I wasn't even alive.
Is that true?
Oh.
95? Yeah. 2 more years.
let me
than
get my
then,
walker out.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be here anymore.
You and me both, man.
What? You were alive, B-Rob. What are you
No,
talking
I'm just
about?
saying. I'm talking about me and RD.
Oh,
We're talking about being old, my friend.
yeah.
That period was kind of. I think that period of WWF, the new generation,
Just characters.
is how it was how it was kind of plugged, and that was a very, very rough period for the company and also for my fandom in general. Because you had so many characters that were it seemed like unless you were like a big time star in the WWF at that time, apparently Vince paid so poorly you always needed a second job. So you had a wrestling plumber, you had a wrestling garbage man. Everybody seemed to have a second a wrestling
dentist,
race car driver, a dentist, evil dentist. You had all these terrible characters, and that's why, to be honest, when Hakushi was there, it was a really nice breath of fresh air because they put him into a feud with Bret Hart,
And it ruled.
and I was like, oh my gosh, these matches are fantastic. But of course, once that ran its course, then they were like, wait, he's Japanese. We need to make fun of him, and in the most stereotypical, borderline racist manner possible. Let's Americanize him with none other than the original Bret Hart, because Barry Horowitz was at one time that was his name. His ring name was Bret Hart. So Barry Horowitz was jobber extraordinaire, and so yes, they had Hakushi and Barry Horowitz become an odd couple, and he would attempt to Americanize him.
That's Vince's bread and butter. He loves
Absolutely
the odd couple because he probably thinks it's the funniest shit. Because people, they don't understand each other.
Yes, he had just done something like this a few years earlier, and it wasn't Japanese, of course, but Kamala, the Ugandan giant
from Alabama or some shit.
Yep, absolutely. And so here is this, Ugandan warrior that was, supposedly a headhunter, this famous cover on an old wrestling magazine where he has Hulk Hogan's head on a stick, like he had beheaded and impaled Hulk Hogan.
God, I wish.
Famous cover. And so here's this guy. He's a really monster threat, and that had also run its course. And so they decided to turn him babyface. They put him with the Reverend Slick.
Always Slick.
And Slick attempted to teach him to not so much Americanize him, but humanize him and teach him how to be a human being and not this crazy animal, not a savage. And so, like the big payoff of that is he took him bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Slick, who once ate a whole plate of fried chicken in that music video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. That was Vince's bread and butter. He loved doing stuff like that. In this, Hakushi and Horowitz was the same kind of thing. So,
yeah. And then, like, even before we got up to that, he did a long run of undefeated matches or whatever. He had a whole bunch of, like, 1, 2, 3 kid, do the dumpster drops. He got a lot of wins up under his belt before he even got up to Brett. And then once Brett beat his ass a couple times or whatever, because, I mean, televised and house shows and shit, that's when it started to take the turn into all this other stuff, whatever, because he would be getting beat, like, people coming in like Adam Bomb and, Savio Vega and all kinds of stuff like that. Any one of the Fatus and whatnot. And then, we would lead into whenever he would team up with Horowitz and shit.
Was Rikishi making a difference yet?
Yeah, it would have been about that same time.
That's a great gimmick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is it really? Did you say that with a straight face?
In my heart, it goes that and then run over Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Bad man.
Yo.
I actually heard that originally they were going to go with Kung Hakushi.
No.
I'm going to let it sit. Let it sit, guys.
No, thank you.
There's no way to get in with that, so I had to do it anyway.
You didn't get all of it.
No, I didn't get even a little bit of it.
There it is. Yes, one of the few actually pretty funny parts of this whole thing is there is an interview with Horowitz and Hakushi where I believe it's Horowitz asking if Hakushi knew who the president of the United States was at the time. And Hakushi replies, Hillary. And it turns out at no point in history was he correct.
Wow.
Yeah, I just remember him. I think they only had like 2 interactions that I could recall, but I remember a match. It was very short. Him fighting the Undertaker.
I think that happened back in Japan, didn't it?
Yeah, that was in Japan.
You sure?
Yeah.
It was 2 times.
They were.
Because I remember it in a WWF ring.
Yeah, they ran a couple of crossover shows in the.
I see what you're saying. All right, because all right, I had to look it up. I got you. Yeah, so yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
but I remember the bit that I did see. It was pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. No, the Brett stuff and the Taker stuff is actually very good. Like if anybody's never watched it, I would recommend going and watching this. The Barry Horowitz stuff, maybe not as much.
No,
probably why it's on the list. Such as this.
Now, the more I look at this team up, I more think about I guess a redux of this team in Rene Dupree and Kento Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
But the more American stuff came after the team, though, which is weird. Where Kenzo wanted to be a real American because he loved Tori Wilson's breasts.
And I mean,
that'd do it to anybody.
But they just have some obsession with trying to make Asians overly American.
Yeah,
that's how you get it over to an American audience.
Oh, true. Not the wrestling. Just I love America.
Yeah, they were never really able. They've never really been able to get a Japanese male talent over.
I was going to say specify male talent.
Yes,
you couldn't even get Lord Tensai over, for Christ's sake.
Oh God!
Hey, he started dancing and he got over with me.
Yeah. And then, he was What else you got, Cass?
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he worked for a lot of goddamn companies.
Shinzaki?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of a journeyman.
I mean, even up until like recent years of 2025. I mean, he's been in GLEAT, goddamn GCW, just Noah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he was in Muda's retirement match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm looking back like he's like in FMW and oh man, the couple of matches that I see here are for New Japan and All Japan. I mean, we might have to do a secondary excursion.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Just on Shinzaki? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's something positive that came out of this terrible team. Barry Horowitz, don't give a fuck. But
did everybody have the moment in their lives when they found out that he wasn't actually tattooed, that they were just upset and sad? Have we all had that moment?
No, I was trying to figure out how they got it to stay on. Because like, of all the people that I watched throughout my lifespan of watching professional wrestling, the paint don't really stick. His did. I wonder what he used.
Yeah, he used whatever the same paint that Kiss does. Because for whatever reason, theirs never ran.
Because Mudas don't stick, Stings don't stick,
Gold Dust
doesn't stick. Yeah, but that shit never rubbed off.
Yeah,
goo.
Lord have mercy. But yeah, so that kind of derailed Shinzaki.
Mm-hmm.
He never really got back to where he probably should have been.
Yeah, because it almost seemed like he served his purpose. It was like they built him up to lose to Brett, and then once he lost, shenanigans.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like, what did he really have a high ceiling in WWF?
I mean, he could have if they did it right.
Could have been an IC champion, I guess.
In that era, nobody had a high ceiling in that company, though.
Nope.
Not a single person had a high ceiling.
You tell me the Bonnie Donnas didn't?
Fair enough. No, not Zip, just Skip.
Well, they couldn't reach the ceiling, so no. But yeah, so that would be the induction of Hakushi getting Americanized. I'm glad we're past
funny
that
every time.
Every time.
Is it?
That's not a me joke. I'm just taking Rob Van Dam's joke.
Whoa, why you saying my jokes, dude?
Is he here?
Move on to... No. We're going to move on to our final induction. It is
this episode.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You're not joking.
But we are moving on to not one of the greatest wrestlers to ever exist on the planet in any ring, Kazuchika Okada. We are moving on to talk about the great Okato.
Okato. Yes.
Was he okay though?
Okada, when he was in TNA.
Oh my.
He was dubbed Okato. That is because one of the gentlemen that was helping to run TNA at the time, one of their bookers, is a gentleman. I don't know if anyone's familiar with him. He's very under the radar. A lot of people don't know the name, but I will just put it out there. Would be Vince Russo.
Bro? I swear to God, what are we talking about right now?
I heard of this guy, Vic Venom. He sounds familiar.
It's like he's in the room
they sound very familiar, don't they?
Very familiar. They have the same voice, I think. Is that the same guy?
You know, it's funny because you guys, everybody always says bro, you know. As I can now say that he is, after a period where he wanted to find me and put me 6 feet under because he absolutely hated me. Vince Russo and I are friends now. We're friends. I'll just say that. Like, I could pick up the phone and call him right now. He is.
No, absolutely not.
Put him on the fucking spot, man.
Right now.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with the bro, that is 100% not a gimmick. That's not something he just does on interviews. I was out to dinner with his wife and his father. Okay. And he bros absolutely every bit.
That's
as
amazing.
Much, you know, when we were at this nice Italian restaurant, he was broing me and his wife and his father every bit as much as you would see on any interview. That's who the man is. He's
exactly what you want him to be.
Huh?
He's exactly what you want him to be.
I don't know that he's exactly what I want him to be.
Yeah,
but that's who he is. I mean, that's what he is, and so that also leads into Okada coming into TNA and being dubbed Okato.
I don't like it
because he heard the name Okada. I think he misunderstood it, or he just thought this would be really funny if we made him a new version of Kato, which is a character from the Green Hornet, which was a television show in 1967, I believe.
When did the movie come out? It wasn't anywhere near around that time, was it?
Hell no.
Seth Rogen?
I don't think so.
Seth Rogen or whatever?
Seth Rogen, yeah.
When did that come out?
Right.
I'm looking now.
That is a good question.
I get a feeling it has nothing to do with the topic, though. Like they probably had no idea about it.
2011.
That movie came out in 2011.
Oh,
yes.
He predates it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he predates that. I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and see exactly what date that Okato was. But Okato was Russo is a huge fan of the 1960s Batman television show.
Who's not?
Yeah,
he and I actually did a podcast together where we reviewed every single episode of the Batman 60s television show in order.
Nice.
It was a weekly thing. We called it the Joker's Mustache.
Even the movie?
We did the movie as well. Yes.
Yeah.
We did the movie. We did the unaired pilot with the unaired Batgirl pilot.
Oh shit.
We did they did a variety show. It would have been in the late 70s that he and I did as well. That had Batman and they had all these characters. The late 70s, that was a big time for variety shows. Jerry Reed had a show, and I think every C-list celebrity had some variety show, and they did this with the DC superheroes. So yeah, he and I did every single one of those. So I can tell you that he was a huge fan of Batman, and then of course on that Batman TV show, they did do a crossover with the Green Hornet characters, the Green Hornet and Kato, who was played by anyone?
Bruce Lee.
That is correct. So yeah, that's what. If you look at Okato on the WrestleCrap site, you will see, or Google him wherever, you'll see that he has the exact same outfit and same little mask as Bruce Lee had on the television show.
Now, just so to give a little not fully shit on Russo. Okada being bullied in America wasn't a new concept. So famously, back in 2006, before he even signed with New Japan, he was still with Toryumon and under Ultimo Dragon, and he'd worked a Chikara show in Barnesville, Pennsylvania. I can't tell you who he wrestled off the top of my head, but the Chikara guys convinced him that Barnesville, Pennsylvania were big giant Baba marks.
Oh no.
So if you go watch the match, Okada works it like Baba and does the Baba chops on his opponent, assuming they're going to cheer. They don't know what the hell's going on. And he's just like, after he does the big chops. So it's nothing new for Okada to get just bullied for no reason.
That feels like it tracks for Chikara.
Oh, that was from the Zero to Hero show. I know that show.
I'm not shocked whatsoever.
Yeah, of course you do.
Well, I was a Chikara guy for a while back at that point.
See, look at him with his little mask. I see what you're doing there. You're surfing around, trying to find Google images of Bruce Lee as Kato.
Mm-hmm. I knew it was Bruce Lee because my wife is in love with Bruce Lee, and the whole second floor of our house is just decked out in Bruce Lee pictures, books.
Do you ever?
Figures.
Did she ever have you put on the Kato mask?
Oh my god!
Why have we never asked that?
It's not a
If
Kato mask.
not-
He puts it on.
Mrs. B-Rob is asking to show her the Green Hornet.
I don't know.
Green.
I don't know when your anniversary is, or maybe you wait until next Valentine's Day
Soon.
and you show up in that little outfit.
You know what? I'm putting it on the list.
Oh my god!
You know what? I mean, you planting that seed in my head right now.
And then you're gonna plant your seed. Am I right?
Hey, all right.
B-Rob is going to be the Gimp Hornet.
Oh no!
All right.
All right.
Wow. Again,
I'll
things
I'll
have gone
tell
off
you
the
when I've gone too
rails.
far.
You and
Man,
Will,
that is-
fucking
is-
tag team of the year over here.
So okay, though.
Yes.
Was this like? Yeah. Did he get kidnapped yet?
Who, Joe?
I think that was toward the end.
Right? Yeah. Because you worked for the Pope first, right? Or did you work for Joe first? Who did you work for first?
I believe it was.
He worked for Okato worked for Joe.
Yeah, he worked for Joe.
Yeah.
And then the
Mhm.
Pope kidnapped him as leverage because him and Joe was feuding with each other.
Mhm.
And had the man, which was wild to me watching this as it unfolded or whatnot. So
Mhm.
your man, the Pope, had Okada at knife point on television, like pulled a knife out of his pocket and put it to this man's throat, and kidnapped him on screen. And like for me, I was like, yo, a whole fucking knife, dog, to the throat. It just blew my fucking mind how they would do something like that on TV.
I mean, not too long after Joe had a machete to Scott Steiner's throat. So
Mhm.
but like snuck
And
off.
then he got kidnapped by ninjas.
yes.
I say, what's
Twice.
more dangerous? Was it TNA or was it the NXT parking lot?
I don't think anyone's gotten kidnapped by ninjas in the NXT
I
parking
think
lot.
Joe did.
Yeah, Joe
I
did.
think
Yes,
Joe
yes, they
did.
did.
Not,
it
not,
again
not,
with
in,
Joe.
not in the NXT parking lot. He got
where was
kidnapped
that?
at the TNA.
the Lucha
parking
guys.
lot, yes.
We had the
Legato.
same conversation the other week because
Yeah.
that's when you was talking about the dick face tattoo.
Yes.
Mhm.
No, Legato, when they first debuted, they were kidnapping each other in the parking lot as ninjas,
Yeah.
lucha ninjas.
The best kind of ninja.
Well, I guess it's now a pro wrestling trope.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kidnapping.
Ninjas,
I mean, honestly,
penis
there's been-
tattoos on your face.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Any other sport, this is just a federal crime, but like here,
Yeah, Axe
it's
Diddy.
normal.
I mean, that's most of wrestling.
All right, I heard
Most
that
of
be
wrestling
wrong.
is a bit of is kind of a crime. But yeah, so this was. At any point watching this, for any of you, did you think, "Oh, that guy's going to be an
Who
all-time
he is
great
today,
wrestler"?
right? No.
I mean, you can say that about majority of the excursions, like No Limit Naito. Like, you think that guy's going to be the dark ace of New Japan? No.
Yep.
I mean, even for a time when I was watching ROH and you seen this crazy haired Evil, I was like, the fuck?
when he was still Watanabe,
Yes.
Yeah. I was like,
or
the
when Sho and Yo were the Tempora boys.
yeah. Who would have
America
thought?
has not been kind to the Japanese talent.
So the guy that Okada wrestled in Chikara has a total of 26 matches to his name.
Who was it?
It was Osiris.
Oh, Osiris.
Not Ernie Osiris, just Osiris.
Osiris.
I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
And as soon as you said Osiris, I just flashed to the Triumph song by Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know why. I'm the Osiris of this shit. Y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see Wu-Tang forever, motherfuckers.
I
You're
did
scaring
not think
cats. Stop it.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
didn't think we were going to get to Wu-Tang today.
This show has had everything.
It really
Tang,
has.
Bob Barker,
Absolutely.
The Muppets.
The Muppets, yeah.
the Muppets, 1967 Green Hornet.
I mean, it's
Me
it's
having
all
a new
the things you
podcast to
want.
listen to
It's a
going
cosmic
forward.
gumbo, you like to view it as.
Exactly. I do think it is worth noting that this was the beginning of the end of the partnership between TNA and New Japan for a very long time.
This killed it.
You
Can we mention what
Hey.
actually killed it?
Please do.
So famously, the Dudleys, Team 3D Brother Ray and Brother Devon were the IWGP
World
Tag Champions.
When they had all the belts?
No, they just had those 2 belts. And so I think TNA was like doing a big TV episode. I don't remember if it was like their like 3 hours or they switched nights or they're like, all right, we need a big like title change, you know? So without asking New Japan's permission, they're like, we're going to put the titles on the British Invasion of Brutus Magnus and Doug Williams.
Doug Williams, hey!
Hey, Doug Williams again.
Full circle!
Yes, we've done it.
To where New Japan refused to acknowledge it for at least like a week or so. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Who the fuck is Magnus?
Yeah, we know Doug Williams, but who's that other guy?
Right. So that's more or less what killed that partnership. And now Okada came back and killed TNA when he kissed the logo. You notice that? TNA went down the shitter as soon as he came back and kissed the logo.
I mean, did they though? I mean, seems like they're in a better spot.
I don't know.
Oh no, they're in a terrible spot right now.
Have you watched that show lately?
I mean, from a business standpoint, they seem like they're in a better spot.
Well, all I can say, as far as them being in a better spot, any company that has ever gotten into bed with WWE,
say it.
Eventually, they do not wind up in a better spot.
What? You tell me Progress isn't in a better spot right now?
I mean, look at Evolve. They're back. Come on, guys.
Evolve is back.
Evolve is back.
Now they run the same amount of people, just with worse talent.
He's echoing my sentiment. I've been saying this for years. I was like, it makes no sense. It's like anytime they get in the bed with somebody, they buying that company or something. Something's
listen.
amiss.
No one's going to survive this.
No one will survive.
AAA will be fine.
I think it's too late for AAA, but we'll see.
Sure.
How long has it been since AAA was fine?
I mean, I'm serious. I
That's
think
true.
it's a serious upgrade for them.
I mean, honestly, that might be the first time it is.
Yeah, because like you're not getting CMLL. That company has literally almost been around 100 years. It's been it's 90 something years now.
Sounds right.
Yeah,
93. I want to say.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
92. I was close.
Hey, we're both winners.
I will say, by the way, just as a little aside, y'all cannot blame me this week for TNA talk on the show.
No, this one's
Throw that out there.
100%.
No, this week
100% my fault.
We purposely
This is
talked TNA
pre-planned.
this week.
Yes, but I think do we have anything else we want to cover on Okada or any of our inductions?
Do you know what is?
I think they're full of crap.
Do you know what his last TNA match was?
What is that?
I think he fought Alex Shelley on Explosion or some shit like that.
Well, that was probably better than it should have been.
Yeah, but that was his last match for TNA.
Well, rest in peace, Okada.
Yes. And with that ends our coverage of the Japanese inductions. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk John Tenta. And we are back, and after a sousand of WrestleCrap, we thought we'd talk about something actually good and interesting, and that is recent inductee into WWE Hall of Fame, Earthquake John Tenta. Now, RD, you said before you were friends with John Tenta. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. John was, I considered him a very good friend. Loved John dearly. Still message with his daughter Joanna all the time. And John was one of the first people that would actually talk to us when we started WrestleCrap.com. Probably should have had a better pitch to people when I attempted to interview them than, hey, this is RD Reynolds of WrestleCrap.com. We cover the worst of pro wrestling, and we thought of you. I had a better elevator pitch or whatever you would call it. Probably could have done better, but John got it. John was, he understood it. He found the humor in it. And he would always say, if you can't laugh at yourself, you have to be able to laugh at yourself. You know, if you can't laugh at yourself, who should you ever be allowed to laugh at? And John was just a dear friend. He actually wrote the foreword to my first book, WrestleCrap, The Very Worst of Pro Wrestling. And yeah, John and I mean, we would just, talk all the time. It's so funny because like a lot of people in the wrestling business, Russo is like this too. And Brian Alvarez, co-author of my second book, Death of WCW. We would start by talking about wrestling when we first met. And then over time, we never talked about wrestling. I mean, we were always talking about whatever else, usually family and such. And that's exactly what it was like with John. He's just a great guy, just a wonderful, wonderful soul. I miss him dearly. I mean, he was just awesome. A really good friend, and obviously a fantastic professional wrestler. So,
yeah, it's very interesting because, like I said, when he was at his peak, it was not a time when I was watching wrestling yet. So all of my watching wrestling with John Tenta and as Earthquake or now watching some of his Japanese stuff has been after the fact. And I was one thing that fascinated me is I can only find one interview with him outside of character, really. And it was very, very early on before he'd even gone back to Japan to start wrestling.
Yeah, because he did sumo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was sumo, and the reason he did that, he would always talk about how he had really good balance. Like his sense of balance was really, really great. I mean, of course he was a tremendous athlete and everything else. But he would always talk about balance, and that obviously works very well when you're doing sumo.
Mm-hmm. You gotta have that good center of gravity, the good base.
Yeah, I mean, John was just, people, I mean,
I'm just looking up some stats. You
can't find anyone really that will say something bad about John because he was just such a wonderful guy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some stats. I mean, I knew he was a bigger guy, but I didn't know he was like 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that surprised me. Like other guys who'd worked Japan at that time, like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched a match with Earthquake and Bam Bam, and it surprised me how much bigger he was than Bam Bam. Because I think of Bam Bam Bigelow as a huge man, and he is.
Yeah.
But Tenta made him look small,
and
yet he could move like a guy half his size. It was fascinating to watch.
It's interesting because, like, some of the, I was looking at some of the stuff you guys had sent me, and from like late 80s, pre WWF, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was, he looked almost svelte.
Yes.
I mean, he was much thinner at that time, and just kind of crazy just to see him that young. Working in Japan.
Yeah. And just for a comparison, like to Kaz's point, him and Bam Bam Bigelow, what they got listed here on a cage match for Earthquake is 6'6", 462 pounds. I guess that's probably, at the height when he was at his biggest. And for Bam Bam Bigelow, 6'4", 390 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know that John was ever, that 462 was obviously a worked weight.
Oh, we mean work.
But I mean, I don't know that he was ever that heavy. But I mean, he was obviously a giant man. So
yes,
the lasting, moments with that guy was for me as a kid watching him when he sat on that goddamn snake.
Yeah, it was one of his favorite. I think we were the first people that he ever told what happened with that. What was in the bag? He was like giggling. He couldn't wait because I guess no one had asked him, or he didn't feel comfortable telling anyone or anything else. He was like giggling on a WrestleCrap radio, 20 years ago or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you know what was in the bag? I was like, no, what was in there? He goes, it was pantyhose filled with hamburger.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's tremendous.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
So he was, that was something that he was laughing so hard about. Like I said, that was John. He could find humor in things, even stupid things. You guys talked about his WWF days. And when he went to, he eventually wound up going to WCW when everybody was going to WCW, right? Mid-90s.
The Shark.
The Shark.
So Shark, and he had gone to LSU. So the Tigers, he had a big tattoo of the LSU mascot on his arm
that he had to get covered up eventually, right?
Correct. And the story was that Bischoff came to him and said, "You can't go to the ring. You're a shark. You can't have a tiger on your arm."
That's bullshit.
And he spent 20 hours getting the tattoo redone to make it look like a shark. And he said it looked nothing really like a shark at all, but it didn't look like a tiger anymore. And he was like really happy about that. And so he went back to WCW. He's like, "I'm ready to go as the Shark." And they're like, "Yeah, we're not going to have you be the Shark anymore."
I was going to say, wouldn't it have been easier not to call him the Shark in the first place?
You call him the Tiger Shark.
Yes,
Tiger Shark.
Yeah,
the Tiger Shark.
Oh, there you go.
Better.
Yeah, that would have been much better. So he was, but that's what he did. That was John, and he would do whatever he could to make something work. Yeah,
I will say my big moment when it came to him is when I found, because I started watching wrestling in the spring of 1998, and so around that time was the Oddities, right?
Oh, Golga.
So
Yeah.
I found out that Golga was Earthquake, it blew my fucking mind.
Right. Yeah.
No, it was like, this is the same fucking guy.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things that you're just like, you could have done something. You could have easily done something with him, but they wanted to put him under.
Fucking Earthquake. Why are you putting him under the mask and doing this shit?
Correct. Yeah.
Although I did love Golga, to be fair.
Yeah. It was just, that's the wrestling business sometimes, is that they don't think, they think that someone's going to forget, or there's going to be like, oh, that's Earthquake. That was an old character. That's nothing we would want to see. But it's funny because if you watch, he actually did some dark matches as Earthquake, and he got like this big reaction.
Oh yeah,
he came out. It was like, why would you not do something with him? So, yeah. But John would always kind of laugh about it all, because he, like I said, he had a great sense of humor, and he knew that he was, he's able to laugh at himself.
Yeah, and obviously tremendously talented. Like I said, we watched a little bit of his early Japanese run, and his first match in All Japan was teaming with Giant Baba, which is not something that many people having their first match.
No,
you're going to get.
No. And he was very proud of his time in Japan. He gave it everything he could, and he always told me he learned a lot there.
Because he finished his career there, right? Or no?
He did go back late in his career. Yes.
Okay.
And then of course the cancer got to him, and it just really, cancer sucks.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, indeed.
Took my father away. Took Quake away. It's awful.
And certainly took way too long to get him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was one of those things that I was really glad that Fred Ottman, Typhoon, Tugboat, Shockmaster, BADD, Big Steel Man. He is a great guy too. It's funny because I traded stuff back and forth with Fred for years. I finally met him face to face about 2 months ago, and just being able to share stories and talk with him about all the different all the times that he spent with John. Was really glad to see Fred be able to get up there and do that. Really glad to be able to see John's kids up there. But yeah, I mean, it took way too long, especially whenever you look at the Hall of Fame and you see some of the people that are in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Vince's limo driver and other
Bob Uecker,
absurd things. You know, yeah. I mean, it's just something that, you know, I have long said that the WWE Hall of Fame is nothing but a marketing scheme. It's just something else for them to be able to, you know, put something else on the calendar, something else that, you know, they can sell tickets to. It's another event, but it does have a big, you know, it has a big effect on the guys that actually do get in there, because it's, you know, that's something they get the ring, they can go to different autograph signings and really promote, you know, hey, I'm a WWE Hall of Famer. That carries a lot of cash. So that I was really, really happy about, to see just how much it meant to, you know, to John's family, and then of course to Fred as well.
Yeah.
And there's also some guys, I mean, because you think about like Earthquake, you know, people think that he's forgotten, right? And then he gets in, and the family gets to see people like showing how much they care about him, how much they liked him when they were kids. And that's one of the things I used to always be like, oh, the fucking Hall of Fame, who gives a goddamn shit about this shit? But you think about it, you kind of step back, like you said, and it's like, you know what? Who the fuck do I matter? You know, the people getting in, their family, their livelihood, because maybe they're in a wheelchair, maybe they're in here now, they can kind of earn some more money. So that kind of thing, it's always nice to see that. Cause I was, what was it? Get back to me, because I had something else to say.
Yeah, and then like I look at this as well. I mean, this is people's jobs. You know, it's just like getting honored for your body of work, no matter how long or, you know, short it was. You know, and those people still do have a lasting impact on my, you know, childhood and everything. You know, the natural disasters, them just fucking up other tag teams and everything or whatever. That shit sticks with me. And, you know, it was just like, it reminds me of better times, you know, just like fun times as a kid and shit. You know, like I said, that when he sat on that goddamn Damien, that damn snake, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then like the way Jake rolled into the ring and he opened the bag and he like threw it away. He's like, oh God.
And then he made Quake burgers later, you know, out of the snake, which I thought was a great touch.
Oh man.
I got a question for you, actually. I was thinking about this before. The gimmick battle royal from WrestleMania 17. He was younger than I am right now. He was 37 years old. What did he ever say about that?
About the gimmick battle royal? I mean, he was glad to be in it.
Obviously,
sure. I mean, it was funny. I mean, it's always funny because it's like, well, who should have won that gimmick battle royal? And it was the Sheik, because they couldn't throw him over the top rope because he would break a hip or something. You know. They redid the Gobbledygooker costume, so the Gobbledygooker could be in it, because the original Gobbledygooker costume apparently was gone, was destroyed or something. So they redid it.
What he did.
Do what?
I think Hector took it to TNA with him.
Yeah, I actually had that in my I actually had the Gobbledygooker outfit in my possession for a period of time. Yeah. I was able to get it for. I was doing a show for StarCast, and I was able to convince someone to let it out of the WWE warehouse, and I had it in my possession. And it was one of those things that I was like, you know, I could just keep this. Possession is 9/10 of the law, but you know, no. I actually wore the suit to one of the StarCast panels.
Oh shit!
Oh my!
I wore that. Buddy of mine.
You gonna be a motherfucker in the future that they have on what's that show WWE got with A&E, that hidden treasures and shit. They're gonna be looking for your ass.
I am waiting. I am praying that they decide one day that they really need this Katie Vick outfit back. The one that I bought for, I think it was $125. And I will be happy to sell it back to them for $10,000. I'd be very happy to do that. So.
Did you guys know actually that RD actually is in possession of the sawed-off F from the old WWF logo that was the top of SmackDown Fist? He has the sawed-off F.
I
don't know that's. See, now you're making things up, and people are going to think that I don't actually have the Katie Vick outfit, which I do have.
It's a cooler Conrad.
I am
It's
taking.
crazy.
I am taking. Yes. I'll take offers on it as well. I'll take offers on it.
RD is to weird old artifacts as Conrad is to belts. Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've kind of wanted to go to Conrad and say,
Let's trade.
Speaking of Conrad, I love Conrad. I know a lot of people hate him. He's always been just the nicest person on planet Earth to me. And one of the things he did is when I showed up in the gobbledygooker outfit, my buddy Blade actually was on the stage wearing
Sounds like a sharp guy.
Kevin Nash Oz outfit.
Oh no!
From
The hat and
WCW.
everything?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The giant robe. You have that robe. I don't know what it was lined with. That robe must have weighed about 70 pounds. I have no earthly idea what the story was with that. But yeah, Conrad has possession of that. And he let us borrow it for it. It was tremendous.
Oh
my God.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, RD, we've taken up a ton of your time, and we appreciate you joining us.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of fun. I did want to say on a personal note, when we started this show just under a year ago, the first couple episodes B-Rob led, and when I took over, I think 5 episodes in, I was trying to figure out how to even introduce the show. So I thought of how other podcasters that I love listening to did theirs. And the two people that I basically stole from are Jimmy Pardo from the Never Not Funny podcast. His Hello Everybody and Indeed, I do a lot on this show. The other thing I do is he is the blank to my blank, like you did with Blade on the
that's
show.
awesome. Yeah, I caught that at the beginning because I would always say that with Blade on the other end of the tin cannon. On the other end of the tin cannon string is the gobbledygook to my gooker, Mr. Blade Braxton. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
I caught that. I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
So
I've done that many times on this show, and it turns out it's very hard to think of new ones all the time.
It is.
Yes, it is. Yes, you don't have to tell me that. Blade and I did 300 episodes, and it was very tough. That was one of those things that was a clever thing, but you had to be clever to keep doing it too. So,
well, too bad Kaz isn't clever. So
I was about to say they're not always clever.
This is the last time he's ever going to do it.
Yeah.
I have full confidence in your ability to continue to do that. You kids, you got the AI and everything. You can just have AI figure it out for you.
He's having fucking Grok write it for him.
Yeah, oh God, if I knew how to use that, I might, but I do.
Please don't.
Don't.
I
don't know how to use any of the AI stuff.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, please have AI do it, and no matter what it gives you, you have to do it. So if it's completely wrong, you still have to use it.
We might do an episode with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just want to say on a personal note, thank you, because your podcasting has very much influenced the way I do ours.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, WrestleCrap Radio was something I loved to do. Like I said, we did 300 shows. We did 2 videos where we did a WrestleCrap roast and the WrestleCrap shoot interview back when the shoot interviews were all the rage. We always just wanted to find stuff to parody. So I'm really glad you enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you guys. You mentioned the books and everything, and yeah, I mean, WrestleCrap.com still around. We're still pumping out material every week. So. Or actually, it's daily now, so definitely check that out when you get a chance.
I will say, because WrestleCrap is one of the things that introduced me to a lot of the old shit. Like I remember back in the day, when it was the early 2000, and I was all over the message boards at that time. And so, like, I used to, every single week, WrestleCrap was my thing. And I remember I was so sad when it kind of started winding down a handful of years back. And when it got relaunched again, it was like the joy of that year for me. So this is a really cool thing for me to be able to be on here with you.
Yeah, it's really cool you mentioned the message boards, because Quake, John Tenta, we used to be on the WrestleCrap message boards. He used to talk with people all the time. So yeah.
And I was on the WrestleCrap ones. I was on the old IGN boards
Mhm.
back in the day. That was my favorite one. I'm still to this day. I'm convinced that Tony Khan had a profile on the IGN message boards, and I'm trying to get somebody to tell me what it was, and I'll find out one day.
Yeah, if I ever meet Tony Khan, I'm going to make sure I wear a WrestleCrap shirt, because something tells me that he probably was. It would have been about that time.
Oh, 100%.
I think he would have been a fellow crapper as well. So
A fellow crapper.
Yes. Well, RD, thank you very much again for being on with us. We had a bunch of fun with you.
awesome! You guys have a good evening, and we will talk again soon.
Thanks,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we are back. We're going to send you out with a little bit of news in the Japanese wrestling world here.
Nudes?
News. No nudes. That's for a much higher Patreon tier.
Send me your monies.
Yeah, listen, there's a price. There's absolutely a price.
Yeah, I know.
maybe-
I got offered it earlier today.
What?
Excuse me?
Okay, go on.
Oh yeah, it was let's see. I think I had the transcript here. It was $860 is my price.
Oh, that's... I didn't think that was for nudes, but I mean,
He's
guess
going
we
to
could
do a
use it
Paul
for-
Rubens in the theater.
Oh no.
oh
We
no.
can have a documentary years from now, The Real B-Rob.
Oh, God.
I am B-Rob.
Anyway, we have a little bit of DDT news. Tell me, is it MXM? Is that how you pronounce it? Is that just...
Yeah,
Yeah,
MXM Collective.
I wanted to make sure. MXM Collective, or I never remember.
Collection. The collection.
Okay. Yes, they put out a promo video announcing they will be making the trip to Japan to work with DDT, and will have their first match against Denshuko Dino and Hirata.
Someone's getting penetrated.
You gotta imagine.
I don't like any of that.
I mean, I feel like they will work very well there.
Yeah.
That shtick will work in DDT. I'll be interested to see what that's like. In All Japan news, we had the Triple Crown Championship match. Rei Saito, who won the Champion Carnival, fought his brother Jun Saito and was defeated. So Jun retains.
So he has no feet anymore?
What?
He was defeated.
God damn it.
Ooh. This is our doing it all of it WrestleCrap induction of the week.
Yeah, it turns out this episode is getting inducted, and
Holy
it's just for
fuck.
It was on brand.
God damn.
Your brain is made of bran flakes.
Oh, good God. Yeah, Jun Saito defeats Rei Saito. Unsurprising. But decent match. Actually, I thought it was better than the matches they've had before. Which isn't saying a lot, because I did not think that they were great one-on-one pairings. But I thought this was a decent match, and I'd recommend going to watch it, because it is a Triple Crown match, and usually those are pretty good. We also have a bit of New Japan news. Hiroshi Tanahashi will be making his final appearance as an active competitor in the UK at Forbidden Door, August 24th. Any idea who we want Tanahashi to face at Forbidden Door?
Judas in my mind.
No.
Please, what are you doing?
I want him to face the commentary table.
I want him to face the top turnbuckle.
I want him. Oh no!
You want him to Owen himself?
Oh no!
No, I said that. No, I mean, because he could, motherfucker, Jesus Christ, that's worse than doing the other thing we didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Remember he couldn't get on the top rope to do the frog splash on what was it, MJF?
No, Swerve.
Yes.
Swerve, yeah.
Yeah, it was Swerve, yeah.
45 minutes trying to do the fucking high fly flow.
Yeah, I was gonna say face the exit and walk out the building, but yeah.
Lord, guys.
Well, I mean, they set up this stuff with the Don Callis family, so I'm assuming he does stuff.
Multi-man joint.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's him, Brody, and Big Tom against, I don't know, RPG Vice and Lance Archer.
Which seems like a letdown for the UK fans a little bit for Tanahashi, but also,
He ain't got no knees.
Yeah, you kind of want him in a multi-man so he could just do the hits and get out.
No, fuck it. Put him in there against Fletcher.
Oh my god!
All the way.
Imagine.
Do it. That Adam Cole powerbomb.
It turns out Tanahashi cannot make the rest of the his retirement tour.
He has died in the UK.
He has been retired on the spot.
He's compromised to a permanent end.
Now, another Tanahashi thing, I didn't have this in here, but I have seen rumblings recently that they might be thinking about Tanahashi in the G1. That after losing Naito, they might want somebody who can draw.
They do need the star power.
I mean, put Takeshita back in, get Kyle Fletcher over there.
Chase Owens is back now.
Yes, he is.
Come on now.
So is Chase Owens going to be X coming up on the 15th or what?
No, he is facing the X team.
Well, yes, he's going to pull like a Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Actually, I was thinking about it being Ishimori. I think that would be perfect because Ishimori can kick fucking what's his name? The other one. The other old Uncle Nobu, kick him out of there because they hate each other.
They hate each other.
So
I don't know.
Kick him out of there. What do you think? I mean, Ishimori and Sho, that's a hell of a tag team, though.
Yeah, that is pretty decent.
Yeah, we did have this in the news. Well, Evil announced that Dominion House of Torch is adding a new member.
Come on, stop it!
No. By the way, I'm not sure if we had this mentioned because I don't have a rundown here, but we were talking about DDT. You guys saw that Fujita is going to be wrestling for DDT on July 13th, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But I don't know who. I don't know who X is. I'll tell you who I want X to be.
X gonna give it to you?
No, Bishop Dyer.
You've been saying that.
Dyer.
What?
You on the Dyer train
because I think he's actually good, and I think he could be decent.
Yeah, and I want it to be the Sandman. So we can all get our wishes.
If wishes were fishes,
I knew it.
I'll be drowning in the pussy now.
Oh,
good God. Speaking of nothing like that, former IWGP heavyweight champion.
Whoa. Who's Fujita's partner there for DDT? That's a handsome boy.
Oh yeah.
That's
all of them are. Look at those people.
Yeah, that's all DDT is.
Yeah, just handsome peoples.
If you want to just sit around and just kind of stare in awe, I mean, you want to watch DDT just a little bit.
You're ever going to be looking up Yaoi after this?
What is that, Uncle Howdy?
You know what?
Yowie Wowie?
Uncle Howdy Yowie. Can we make that the name of the episode?
It can't be.
Please.
Well,
look at him. He's crying. He wants it.
I've
never begged for a shittier title.
Don't do this to me.
For Uncle Howdy Yowie.
Will.
Go ahead and type it in the box, Will.
I'm so upset.
Look at him. He's so gleeful. And so
I'm
joyful.
wide awake to type this.
I'm so mad. We were so close. We were almost at the end.
I'm right awake.
And I could have had a normal title.
You could have, but you're not.
God.
I'm sure RD will be fine us seeing his name associated in the title with that.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. As soon as his segment over, he probably tap out.
I mean, we're talking about a company that has the Gay World Anal Championship. I mean,
right.
Come on.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sure.
It's okay. It's
anyway.
Okay.
Former IWGP heavyweight
Let's go in memoriam now.
Yes. And world champion freestyle wrestler Salman Hashimikov passed away last week at the age of 73.
Oh, let me make
Hashimikov was, put him on the list.
Make sure
Hashimikov was the first European to ever hold the IWGP title in his short 2-year run with the company.
Yep, I have that.
Salman Hashimikov, that's like when you cut up the fish and put it with the potatoes. And
yes.
All-time show here.
Man, that was... Sure. Yeah, no, I've watched a little bit of his stuff. He's very interesting. He's just very, very grounded freestyle wrestler kind of style that he brought over. He also tag teamed many times with Victor Zangief.
From Street Fighter.
That's where Zangief was modeled after Victor Zangief, a Street Fighter. So, yes.
Nice.
But yeah, R.I.P. Salman Hashimikov. And final thing we want to talk. Yes. Final thing we want to talk about. Best of Super Juniors has come to an end. Kosei Fujita defeated Yo, even though I think this needs to be said. Even though Nick Marsico convinced all of us that Master Wato was going to win this tournament.
He did.
Y'all, I convinced myself literally in that moment when I was saying it too. Like, it wasn't something I thought about saying. I wasn't like kind of preparing for it. No, in that moment, I convinced myself and all of you at the same time. It was not intentional.
It turns out it's easy to fall into a cult, ladies and gentlemen.
I fell into my own cult.
Yes. But yes, Kosei Fujita defeated Yo and will face El Desperado at Dominion for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Is it going to be at Dominion? I don't think it is.
Is it not?
I don't believe it was. They announced the card today. It's not on there.
Look, is it not? Well, let me see that.
Because I know Desperado is putting the title on the line against Jun Kasai coming up on the 23rd. Are they waiting until after that? I want to say. And so he's going to give him a shot after that.
Does Jun Kasai really fall under the junior heavyweight?
Yeah, sure he does. He ain't a big boy. Not a very big boy at all. But they had the press conference yesterday or today, and Desperados came in and said, "You know what? Hey, we're going to do the title match. I promise you that. But I'm not going to be focusing on you if we do it on the 15th because I'm focusing on Jun Kasai. And so I'm going to give it to you after I beat him."
Well, that's got to be the first time that's not happened at Dominion in a number of years.
Outside of last year when it was the final, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm figuring they're going to do the same thing. It'll be the main event of a Korakuen show, I'm sure.
Well, it'll main event one of the Soul shows.
Yeah. Will.
Yes.
Jun Kasai, 5'8", 194 pounds.
Oh, okay. Good to know. What I was saying, it's historically Kei Fujitas in New Japan are goated. So
this is true. Do we think Fujita beats Desperado?
You should start wrestling like Kazuyuki too, by the way.
I would say yes. I would want to put. I don't know how much money I would put on that, but I would say yes.
How much yen?
Because this company doesn't do the thing that another certain company does that we talk about, just like hold a title hostage on a person or with something for undisclosed amounts of time because they have this idea in their mind that they want to complete. But
they don't have to have someone climb Mount Everest, you're saying?
Yeah. That too.
Yeah, I think it's time to pull the trigger. I think Fujita is tremendous in the ring. I think it's his time. I think you move Despy off. Hopefully Doki's back sooner rather than later, and you can start that back up.
Mm-hmm. What's him in what's his team name? Yuya? What do they call him?
Sol y Luna?
No, the other thing.
No, that's the NXT wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sol. Okay. Yeah, I got you now.
Young, strong boys, young guys.
That's it. Very, very original, but yeah.
And then Velveteen Dream said, "Oh, can I join New Japan?"
Fujita is actually going to beat Desperado, but then lose it the next night to Robbie X. But then he's going to be challenged by Wato. Wato will finally become the Grandmaster. On
Why are you trying to string this shit in there?
On the G1 final.
No,
making it happen.
And then the Sandman.
No, I'm not buying it this time.
If it happens. So, okay, does he win the belt before the end of the year? Does Master Wato win the belt before the end of the year?
No,
I don't think so either.
Not a chance?
There's always a chance, but I'm not putting any money on that.
Do we get Master Wato versus Doki for the title at Wrestle Kingdom?
Absolutely not.
I think it has to be multi-person.
Yeah, you can convince me of that. You can convince me of Fujita, Wato, Doki, Despy.
Master Wato, Fujita, Doki, and Marty Skrull.
Oh. No.
And Will Ospreay.
And the Sandman.
And on that note, want to say special thanks again to our guest, RD Reynolds. And for Nick, for Will, for B-Rob, and for myself. We didn't get all of it. We'll try again next week. Thank you for listening. William, take us out.
And if it's your birthday, happy crappers.
You've been listening to a Fatal 4 podcast. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts and visit fatal4pod.com for more episodes, merchandise, and info on the Patreon.